Hi, this is Kate, and I'm here with Fran Hurley, and we're going to do a soul talk today, and we're going to talk about self-care. So if you haven't watched the soul talks before, I'm a hypnotherapist, NLP practitioner, and a life coach, and I was doing a radio show called Embrace Change with Kate, and you probably know that if you've gotten to this soul talk. But I'm going to be starting a new radio show, and you're being the first to hear this right now. If you see this soul talk, it's going to be called Soul Fire Wisdom. So that's going to be coming soon. And excuse that all that noise. I guess they're picking up my garbage right now. So I'm going to let Fran tell you a little bit about herself.
Hi, how you doing? Everything coming through okay?
Yes.
Awesome. I'm Fran Hurley. I'm a certified health coach, and I work with people on self-care, a lot of self-care. Mindset, we work on a lot. I've continued my education through a master herbalist out of Canada, and we just finished a couple more courses on herbs, nutrition, and the body system, and blood microscopy. So we are pretty excited about that. I mean my husband and I, we work together as a team. We help couples, and then we help individuals too. So we're really excited about that. And after our journey we've been through, and Kate, you're aware of a lot of it, researching and finding out what you need, what your body needs is so important. And so we've been on a lifetime journey like that.
Yes, I actually met Fran through Facebook, and it was around the time when I was starting the radio show, and I was interested. The radio show focuses on mind, body, spirit, wellness. So I was looking for people in those different areas, and I saw Fran was a health coach, so I wanted to talk to her about that. So we had coffee, and in the process of that, I found out that she had gotten to being a health coach through all the different adversity that she had personally encountered. So when we were deciding to have a talk, it seemed that self-care would be a good topic, not really because of what Fran does in her business, but because she pretty much had to do that to get through all of that. So,
Be true.
Yes. So maybe you can tell people a little bit about, what your own personal journey was.
Well, my husband and I actually, back in 2010, we said, okay, enough's enough. We're getting up in age. I'm 67 now, and my husband's 72. So we go, we got to look at retirement age, and we got to be healthy, and we got to be able to enjoy our grandkids. And weight was a big issue. Well, long story short, I lost 101 pounds in 7 months, and my husband lost 68 in 5 months. Those men, they lose it so quick compared to us. Felt best I've ever felt, wonderful, and learned a lot along that journey. And I took a course, and when I started losing weight, I go, I've got to become a health coach. So I took the course through Villanova College, and was so excited, and I got to help so many people. It was so exciting because everybody's journey is different, and everything works different for everybody. And so we had actually used a product, but then there were different things through the journey that a lot of people couldn't use. And so I kept researching and find things. And you knew I had a coffee shop. And so here in Mill Street.
Yeah. I'll have to tell you, when I met Fran, I did not drink coffee, but I tried her coffee product. And I liked the flavor of it, but it was a little too pricey to use on an everyday basis. But in the process of trying that, I decided I kind of did like coffee a little bit. So I found a coffee that I like the flavor of, and I am now a coffee drinker. I drink 1 cup of coffee per day. So I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but it's Fran's fault.
It's a good thing if it's alkaline. And that's what people.
Yes, it is, actually.
It has to be alkaline coffee, because you want to keep your body as alkaline as possible, because diseases can't live in an alkaline body.
Yeah, it's an organic alkaline coffee.
Very good. Yay. We'll have to have another coffee together. I know I can't live without my coffee. And so, as I said earlier, I work with a master herbalist out of Canada. And actually, she was in our coffee company with me. And that we met outside of the restroom, of all places. And we started talking, and I was telling her my journey. And after lost all my weight and feeling really good, 2.5 years into it, I was in a real bad accident. And then the doctor started, and the surgery started, and 7 surgeries later, I got infected through surgery.
7 surgeries.
And nerve damage, and on and on and on. And I'd never been in a hospital, never had surgeries, stuff like that, except had babies. And well, I shouldn't say I never had surgery. I did, but not like this, and all the medications, and I didn't know what was going on in my body. And so I was telling her about this, and she says, oh, well, we need to get together and work on it. And so I did, and that was 3 years ago, 3.5 years, well, about 3 years ago. And so I learned so much. Like I just said, I just did the herbs and nutrition and body system. They have a schooling too, and so they teach courses. And the more my husband and I did, the better we felt, the better we wanted to learn more, to teach people. And it took me so long to get the infection out of my body. And I've been having customers now that have been so sick for so long. And so I listen to what they have to say, and I go, okay, what has been done to you? What has the doctor got you on? And we start going down that path. And people don't realize how important it is to watch your nutrition. And everything we take is plant-based. We take no medication. I ended up having to be on one. I couldn't walk. Was my last bout 3 years ago. And I was in the hospital a week, and I happened to get a product that I could use, and it took all the pain away, but it was nerve damage. And I had been put in a needle in my spine, and they went, oops. And I went, oops. So our journey has just taken us on this. We do plant-based. We work on the diet. We work on the exercise, the health, every bit about it, and the mindset. That's what we were talking about just before we came on. The mindset is so powerful. It's so powerful. And
so how is your husband? Right about the time when Fran was kind of getting through everything on her surgeries, her husband had a heart attack.
Mm-hmm. And he's doing fabulous. Yeah, that was actually 1 year ago. And we became of age, the Medicare age. And so we had to go get a wellness check. And so we have no high cholesterol, no blood pressure problems, no diabetes, nothing. Everything got clear, and we did the stress test. They both both tests came back as we had a heart of a 50-year-old. So we continue hiking and, you know, doing what we normally do and eating like we do and everything. And what happened and why I had a heart attack is when we went up in the elevation, and we were up at a mountain in Canada and up by Whistler. We were there a week, and he had his heart attack up there. But little did we know, we came back down by the grace of God, and we got him to the hospital back here in Seattle, long drive. But then they had to wait to do his angiogram, and then found out he needed a 4-way bypass. And so if we wouldn't have been doing this herbs and the natural things and the plant-based everything that we did, he wouldn't be here today. So in fact, our herbalist, like I said, is up in Canada, so she called us right away. I called her, called me back, and told us different things to do. And we had a lot of the herbs there, so we gave them extra. And it's just, knowledge is power. That's all I can say. Knowledge is power. And the only thing that was keeping us alive is his fifth artery was very narrow. And we have a spray we use that oxygenates the blood, and the herbs we had with us. And that's what kept him alive till we got here. Well, he's alive still. But
well, good.
Amen. He made it through. And so
that's important.
Amen. Amen. I was just kind of sitting there going, oh, Lord, and so when I went back to our cardiologist, and this is one of the things people really need to talk to their doctors and ask questions. Because I said, why did this happen when we got a clean bill of health? And what he told me is both sides of my husband's heart were equally bad. So it, how did he say? Oh, Lord.
Balanced out. The machine didn't show an abnormality.
Yes, it gave a false positive reading. And that's why, and he goes, it happens. And my girlfriend just lost her husband 2 years ago, exercising and working out, feeling great, had lost a lot of weight. They were walking, just like my husband and I, eating wonderful food. They eat very healthy. And he went exercising, came home, and sat in the chair and had a massive heart attack and died. Because part of this system we're talking about, the body system, is what we've learned from Yvonne, is you have to really listen to your body and cool down, and you don't just work out and stop. And so we go to the gym every day, and we have a routine we do, and my husband's just doing fabulous.
Great.
And me too now. So yeah, so I love working with people and helping them with their mindset and the knowledge.
Yeah, that you just said something really important, and that is the listening to your body. It's like, I was telling you just before we went on about being sick and having the sinus infection that never quite went away, that I had been not feeling great for such a long time. Well, I wasn't paying attention to it. I mean, I paid attention to it to an extent, but wasn't really asking, okay, what is this, trying to tell me? What do I need to do? And I've just recently been, asking myself that and saying, what do I need to change to make this not be part of my daily life? Yeah, because when you don't listen, things get more extreme.
True.
It always happens with everything, whether it's a physical thing or an emotional thing or, whatever. If you try to ignore it, it's just going to come back and, yell at you.
It's true. You just need, like we were talking before, you just have to listen to your body, and we're so more in tune to our bodies than we were in our 50s. And I'm thinking, wow, if we had this knowledge that we have now back in our 40s, imagine how awesome we'd be. you know,
Well,
it's
I,
amazing. So,
yeah, and I think that's true. And I kind of think that it's kind of great that, like, a lot of people say that the millennials, they're lazy and they want everything, and they have lots of negative things to say about them. But I think they know a lot.
yeah.
They pay attention to a lot more. They get a lot more information than we got.
Hmm.
It's just available. And so I think they're very fortunate that they can um, take advantage of a lot of things that I don't know if we couldn't or we didn't want to, or
We
I
didn't have
know,
cell phones back then.
but no, we didn't have cell phones. But I'm like, I think that we didn't listen as much to the people that were older than us, because they sometimes do. They're sometimes more open to, they are more accepting of diversity. Like,
Hmm.
old people aren't necessarily the enemy.
True.
Not always, I mean, they're
And
not
that
all the same, but
listening to grandma.
yeah.
Grandma, when we were little, if we got sick, grandma had the remedy,
Hmm.
you know, and
Or at least she had some good advice.
exactly.
I was just, somebody mentioned on the internet, they made a comment about their feet being too big. And I remembered when I was a little kid, and um, I complained to my grandmother that I told her that my feet were too big. And she told me that that was for good understanding.
Amen. There you go. It's just the generations, you know. I listen to my grandkids, you know, and they're growing up in this age, and it's just amazing. I have millennial grandchildren. It's wonderful,
Yes.
you know.
Well, I don't have any grandchildren, but I do this. I really like listening to the millennials, and well, my grandchildren, by the time I have them, they'll be the next thing to come after millennials. So
I
whatever
know
that will be.
the last event we were at, someone come up and said, "How old are you?" And I told them, and they go, "No way, you don't act your age." And I go, "How am I supposed to act?" And
Yes,
so
I've
you
never
act.
been this age before. You know what?
I said, and they go, "You act like us." And I said, "Well, I have a lot of grandchildren, and I have fun with them." But it's wonderful. It's really wonderful to mingle and receive knowledge from everybody, because everybody has something to share. You know, something to share. Sorry, something to share, and it's just we just need to keep an open mind. And one of the things with the customers and clients I take on their journey, their health journey, is one of the things I hear the most is I can't do it alone. So many people are alone and they don't want to reach out and speak out. And you really need to lock arms with someone like what you do. I mean, you help so many people overcome trauma from when they were younger, that they never worked through. And so people just shut it out, shut it back, lock it down, and then it comes out in a different way. And so that's what's most important to me, is that we find out if we're a good fit, and then we lock arms together. And it's a journey. It's not a race, it's a journey. So health
Yes,
is a journey.
and you have to learn to like take care of yourself. I think
True.
a lot of people, they're really good at taking care of other people,
Mm-hmm.
but they forget about taking care of themselves. And you have, like, when you do some little thing for someone, or someone does some little thing for you, it feels good. It makes you happy.
Right.
And when something makes us happy, makes us feel good, that's good for our health. I mean, it gets all the right chemicals flowing in our body. And so you can do that for yourself too.
Mm-hmm.
And it does have the same effect when you get over those feelings that you were ingrained with that you're not supposed to do anything for yourself.
Exactly. That's like my
You know,
mother-in-law. My mother-in-law lived with it 7 years here, and after my father-in-law died, and then she went from dementia to severe Alzheimer's. I told you about that, and that ended up being 24-hour care for the last 3 years. Well, I've never done that before in my home, and so I had to pray a lot, and then I self-care. My husband and I took time for each other and time separate to take care of our bodies and ourselves and our minds and do something fun, because it's so important. And that was another journey I went through, which I had never gone through before. And so it was a lot new to me. So I reached out to people that have been through it. And that's so important, because there's resources out there. You just got to find the right fit. Like probably with you too, you might get certain clients that you find out aren't a right fit. And so I will refer, if I'm not a right fit or we just can't work together for whatever reason, I will find somebody. I know lots of people that are in the health field. And like if I know someone that needs you, I will send them to you. So networking is so important. And a mindset. I just keep going back to mindset and self-care. It's essential. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, my grandmother, the same thing happened to her. She was actually back in North Dakota, and my grandfather was 10 years older than her, and he passed away. And after he passed away, and she was a nurse actually, but she stopped doing things, and she just like stayed in her apartment and eventually just like deteriorated. She didn't, she didn't eat, and she eventually, she wasn't in touch with people. I remember her writing me a letter, and I didn't know what to think of it, asking me to call her Kathleen. And I thought, well, why doesn't she want me to call her grandma? It was because nobody called her name anymore. And she missed her name. And I didn't know that. I didn't know how she was feeling. But eventually, people found her. And by that time, she was going into dementia. And she was in a facility out here. My uncle put her, and she didn't recognize people, or it was very sad, because she had been, up until that point, she'd been pretty active, and it just went downhill very quickly.
And that's what happened. That kind of experience with my mother-in-law, and so I helped another group of people because I shared my experiences. And if you share your experiences with other people, then it can help them through things. And one of the biggest things is I said family needs to understand that if you're not around them as they're going through these stages, when they get to when they're starting in dementia and stuff, then they start forgetting things. They don't know who you are. And so some family members got angry and upset. And it wasn't my husband's or my fault, but I was trying to explain to them, you don't come around. You don't come and see her. She's with us 24/7, and I take her everywhere I go. And so family dynamics are even just friends that she's used to seeing, and they all lived around here, but everyone has their life, and I understand that, but Alzheimer thing is really,
Yeah, I guess in the earlier stages, Alzheimer's is really reversible,
right.
and dementia, not so much reversible, but preventable.
Hmm.
So people really need to know a lot more about both of those.
With nutrition.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes, that's absolutely true. That's one of the other things we've been studying. Yeah, it's
Yeah, that was one of my radio shows was on brain health, and it was
very,
very, I learned a lot from it. So
isn't that amazing?
yes. So what is your favorite self-care thing that you do for yourself?
For myself, I
Yeah,
go get medi pedis.
you do.
I do, yes, regularly. Yeah, and I just try. Dave and I, well, we kind of both like the same kind of thing. We just like to be out in nature. We like to be away from it all. We shut our phones off, and it's okay. It's okay to shut that phone off. Really, they're all going to get a hold of you eventually. And we just and every night at a certain time we just shut everything off, and that's it. And so we learn, and I have my devotions and stuff in the morning, so I have my time, and then before I turn on my phone. So I do lots of different little things, but we love to take nature walks, and we're getting into that now, but we're not doing any mountains right now. So
There's a couple things that lift my spirits that I need to have in my life, and
right.
one of them is music.
Yes.
I just I have to have music that's one of the first things I do in the morning is
Amen.
I listen to some music. And then when I really need to pick me up, I have to go see a sunset.
Oh, wonderful. All those sunsets, those pictures oh, I remember oh wow, they're just gorgeous. Didn't you just
Yeah.
go on a trip?
Well, we're fortunate. We have some beautiful places to get good sunset pictures, but it's
Oh,
we it we can't always see it, but the sun always does set. So
that's true. We can't always see it, can we? But yeah. So
yeah,
yeah,
but if I can't see an actual sunset, I do have some nice pictures of it that I can go back and look at.
you sure do. It's peaceful. That's what it is. It's peaceful. Like my devotions every morning. And I pray and do my devotions, and that's how I start every single day. And it's just my time. Sometimes it's really early in the morning, but it's just and walking. Oh yes, sunsets are gorgeous. I love to be on the water. It's so peaceful.
Yeah, and like you, I like to be out in nature, go for walks or hikes. That always has a very calming
Amen.
effect on my mind, I guess.
True, true. Isn't that true? Your whole body. It actually starts, it goes through your whole body. Every part you breathe and you inhale and exhale. There's so much to self-care. And
Hmm.
it all starts in the mindset.
Yes, actually, it doesn't really matter what it is. It's the fact that you are saying, I'm worth this. I deserve this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you got to start saying, I am worth it. I am worthy.
Hmm.
That, and change your mindset. And it's amazing. You can go down lots of different avenues here depending on.
Just like one thing I do every single day is I make it a point to smile before I get out of bed.
Oh, that's nice.
So, and it does make a difference. I can have all these, oh, I have to do this. Am I going to get that done going through my mind? And then I remember that I have to smile, and it'll just like, okay, all that's gone.
That's wonderful. See, and that's a simple little thing like that can change your whole day. And I really like to reach out to one person a day and put a smile on their face. You know, just one. Like if I haven't talked to somebody in a while, I'll send them when I get up at 4 in the morning. Send them a little message so they wake up to it.
Okay. You'll send them a little message at 4 o'clock in the morning and wake them up. And then they say, oh no, that's Fran again.
I know certain ones that turn their phone off too. So, but I know ones that leave their phone on all the time and go, oh, I won't do that again.
Yeah, I sent somebody a message that I expected them to get in the morning at 3 a.m. recently, and they answered it right away.
Oh, yeah. See, I'm up early like that. I'm still on coffee shop hours when I worked there all the time, all those years, many, 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 many years. So,
Yeah, well, I knew that they weren't a morning person, but they did say that they often, wake up at that time for some reason and just happen to be away.
oh, wow. That shocked you, huh?
Yeah, I thought, oh no, I woke them up. They're one of those people that sleep with their phone.
Oh, I don't. I turn it all off.
Yeah, I don't have my phone in my room, so
A lot of people
that it's not good for you.
not.
So the emissions or whatever. Not sure, but just in case.
It is. It's not good for you.
So we started the talk on them picking up my garbage, and now it sounds like they're picking up the recycling. And these are meant to be fairly short, so we should probably wrap it up.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me. This was fun.
Yes, and I hope people got some ideas on self-care from it, and I'll talk to you again soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.